has got you covered. With the largest payout network in the Gambia, you can now receive your monies anywhere you are, from Kartong to Koina, with less hassle. Yes! You can receive monies from your family and friends in UK, Europe, USA, Canada, Switzerland, and the rest of the world with our safe, secure, fast, and convenient service that offers you the largest selection of payout locations in the Gambia. Supersonics Money Transfer. We are currently in 34 African countries and counting, giving you quality money remittance services that are second to none. Visit the Google Play Store or the Apple Store today to download the Supersonics Money Transfer app and enjoy excellent money transfer services only with Supersonics.
To IC, Command of Finance, and also my humble self here, and also the media fraternity. A warm welcome to Gambia Prison Service. As we already know, our purpose of meeting here is to set line on pertinent information. Exercise that has been ongoing on social media as an institution. We find it so dim and wise to also have an in-depth briefing with the populace at large, because looking at the Gambia Prison Service is an establishment by the Act of Parliament, which the Gambians residing here have also undertaken to making sure that this institution is what it is today. In so doing, we understand that as an entity, we observe all protocols, except when it comes to information sharing. Notwithstanding, it must also be empowered by law, which is especially when it comes to the Right to Information Bill. We have seen that previously this was not happening, but now the Information Bill is now passed, meaning that it's come into effect when it has already been gazetted, and now we are enjoying that right and privilege that every person should be entitled to right to information, which especially the Gambia Prison Service is also in that core in the quest to making sure that information is shared accordingly when it's needed for. Yes, we have been seeing some information on social media, which we think it is jeopardizing the security itself, because one thing we understand that you have to understand that security is a key component that we are entrusted by the state to making sure that people who are found wanting conflict with the law are protected from the people outside, and even by virtue of that, so that they also be a deterrent to those crimes, so that they will not do it again, or any other crime that might be also related to that. We are calling for this press briefing to inform the general population, especially with the incident of escape that happened on Friday, on 20th of May 2022. We want to inform the general population that in the disclaimer that was sent by the social media, where we think the information that was sent, one, the title, the way it was portrayed, it is a signal, and then we think that we want to make a clarification. And this was what the social media platform indicated, saying recent jailbreak at Mile 2 Central Prison. And then this alone is alarming when you say jailbreak, meaning that means that there was an outbreak, that means there was scuffle, there was mutiny that had led to this escape. But to us, it's not a prison break, because if it was prison break, we could have seen the evidence of prison break, meaning that maybe properties and life could be at stake. And so then we said, this is prison escape. Escape happens in different form. Okay? And here we confirm to say, of course, we had escape on the 20th of May, as it is written. We agreed to the escape, which we said, yes, it happened. But during that time too, we have incurred all protocol. In fact, what happened, officers who were on guard that day, if it's not because of their professional, I think things could have escalated. Because one thing is that professional ethically, that's what we observe, and we are trained as security personnel. So I think it is worthwhile that the information that we give out to the general public has to be accurate. Accurate in the sense that it has to be fact findings and factual. That's why today we are saying we are debunking any information that has been gathered here to say that there was prison break. We never had any prison break. So it's a signal that we want to send to the general public that whatever information that we are portraying, it has to be accurate. And besides, we of recent we had a workshop, a dialogue form on ethical journalism, and these are practices that we will want to outline. That in ethical journalism, we are looking at the professional conduct of those that are there to give information, because we understand information also is a right, not a privilege. So being the right, we also have to protect this right to making sure that the information that was sent out to the general public, it has to be censored. Censored in the sense that what must have happened, we are looking at the repercussion. Immediately this happened, social media people and even Gambians who are residing there, it was alarming. In fact, most of the people had to call that, oh, are we secured? Our families, are we secured? Because these are people that, of course, outside I would say, they are people that could be of threat to their lives and property. So this was why we said it is very alarming that we are not going to take a light, because we also have the legal background that we can file a lawsuit, because at the end of the day, it's the name of the institution that is being tainted. Otherwise, that we are not going to allow things to continue like this. In as much as laws are there governing us, we need to go by the laws so that it is of the common interest of justice. However, we have also seen during the disclaimer that was sent on the same social media that the alleged person that they portray has escaped name was found to be untrue. That is not the same person that is portrayed here. I think they indicated that the same person that escaped name is Abulai Ba, which you don't have Abulai Ba. Even of the offense that he was charged, it's not the same offense. That the same Abulai Ba that they claim is the person who have been committed of that offense. So these are two contradicting things that we are conflicting. Of course, offense of stealing and burglaring is a concern to the state, it's a concern to the people, public, because we deem it wise that we need to protect the lives and property of people outside there, because in as much as these people are incarcerated, that we need to make sure that everybody in the Gambia live in an environment which is peaceful. That's why we have the prisons. One core value you need to understand is that prison as an entity, one is for security and also deterrent, to make sure that you and I are safeguarded from all kinds of crimes that may be committed by people who are free in our society. Because in as much as individual liberty is seized, that means like you will not have other avenue to commit similar offenses or crimes that will be prejudice to our justice, that will be prejudice to our life, that will be prejudice to all our undertaking that we do in our community. So not only that, another disclaimer came again, which was on Monday, 30th, that the same media outlet portrayed this and said, in our separate information, said that Monday, 30th, that the same Abla was missing and charged for burglary and stealing. So meaning it has been persistently ongoing. And because it had been persistently ongoing, we find it deemed and wise to say, we have to have the press present so that people understand that in as much as issues of this nature happen, our doors are open. Most of the time, in fact, even our house, journalists will come and then we accord them that interview. Because what happened? The general population need to have accurate information. So these are information that are threats. That in fact is injurious to security, because it may jeopardize that this investigation that's ongoing. Because people want to know how far are they. We have had other escape and we have success stories out of them. So why is it like just it happened in prompted and then social media, other media outlets begin to portray without making facts finding, but they just sit in their corner or in their offices and portray something that is found to be untrue in the way the captions or the message is being portrayed. So as an institution, we said we debunk such information to the core, meaning that That was not prison break, but we had prison escape. And it's found to be malicious. Malicious in the sense that the information portrayed there could have harmed, you know, the population out there, because there's imminent fear. That fear alone could amount to what? Even the country being in an environment which is prone of fear, because fear could lead to other things, excessively, or to the elderly, to the disabled, and even to what people who are this physiological aspect of it, because what men could perceive, women cannot do. So we have heard of this even from the communities, that what is happening in your institution. So which is very alarming, and we found it to be prejudice, prejudice in the conduct in which the information was also portrayed as in the social media. So on that note, I think I will also decline from here. And if you have any other questions, the floor is open. Uh, Through our investigation, we came to find out this was way more what we were expecting. It was a planting, and then because of officers were more vigilant too, it did not have. So they used an opportunity to distract the officers in charge then. So through that distraction, there was a little bit of commotion. So by virtue, because normally our conduct is of course they have a right to outside within the cells at a limited time, and then that they go. So it was that opportunity they also planned to take. But with the officers that were also on ground, because they were limited, imagine having 100 is to 5 or 10. You can see how outweighed the numbers are. So it's a problem, because if you want to run after them, it's one thing, you will not. In fact, your purpose will be defeated. In fact, you may end up not able to capture anybody. But within, we are saying this was within. But looking at also the security one of our walls, anybody could use any means to escape. And also, what would also could also be a key factor is probably the tools that we have at hand could not also be an avenue where we are able to stop them. Imagine having the seal and a button. He can with all want to sustain any injury just to make him so that he escapes. Because a seal and a button all can do is just inflict pain on you. But if you have other things that could be used in the prison, let's say, could probably arm and ammunition. Because I believe in anybody sees an officer being armed, the moment that you make a shot or what to say, hey, everybody what will withheld back. So even by virtue of the escape, one of the officers was attacked. He was attacked, and then he was able to restrain some of them. So that's how it was. Imagine at the tower where an inmate attack you where you are with your rifle, and meaning that this was a well coordinated thing. But because of our security lens that we had, we were able to avert such an escape. So at some point, escape happened in different form. Especially those that are within could well plan it before they realize. Then they use an opportunity, because what they do is like they are opportunists, and upon using an opportunity, they might escape from prisons, because there are key factors that are important. Do I answer the question? We're talking about two. In fact, I would give a signal that this individual could have been seen at this time, this day here. So that's where the information we also rely on, because we have what we call a background check of an individual that comes. We have a record, so that in the event that escape happened, we're able to trace the person in the quickest form that we can. They are not knowledge or not, but what we want to, because this is a media that's the whole world sees, and then in suing them, of course, it's something that we're also looking at to making sure that one, our institution cannot be defamed. Of course, we have defamation. We can kill them for defamation or libel, because it was on a libel that it was written in order to discredit our efforts as an institution. So these are possible ways that we can also file a lawsuit or an action taken to making sure that people deter from this. One thing too is knowing that actually, so it's always a problem. Actually, they said media, whether outlet you call it or what will normal, because we have also make a thorough site to know who and who is part of this, because it's not an individual, but if it is registered, okay, if it is registered, because that's where the legality come. First, we have to look at the legality of the same media, whether they are legally registered, either by the media council, and then if not, then it's always a problem in order to hunt what who and who is under this to make a practice that is misleading the nation. So these are some of the issues too that will also be a hinge on us as institution trying to take a legal action against them. When we come to security, especially, we have different units here. Especially the riot unit, through the intervention of our sister forces, and also in partners and within the Gambian abroad, were able to give us training, which was very very useful to the riot unit, and their mandate is to what, for security, because when it's a riot, it's about trying to what to make sure that the security of the premises are well cemented. So in so doing, yes, of course, we know that even the Gambia context is difficult, except when it comes to security, like when it comes to materials. One, security is expensive. We have engaged our partners, especially from ministry, line ministries, to make sure that they afford us with the right tools, so that we avert something. Because it's also not because we are an institution which is also accountable to the Gambians and non-Gambians who are residents. And in so doing, we employed all judicial measures to making sure that we are well equipped. And of course, we have the human resource. Over more than 150 officers have been trained, except when it comes to riot and riot control, which me as an individual also had the privilege to have international training on that. So the only thing that's also like is about the materials. One, we are materials for enforcement is a problem. One, because we understand the cost itself. Security itself is very costly. So I think that's one of the issues that's also affecting us. We have limited, of course, but we have limited when it comes to security gadgets and equipment, to making sure that we protect the integrity of people and even the Gambian population at large. Notwithstanding, of course, we do with what we have, which is the limited resource that we have. We use it wisely to making sure that it is fruitful. Speaks, because if a caption is that alone speaks to people that this is what happened, and the people will tend to believe whether it is true or not. So accuracy has to also be very important. That whatever information is given, especially as journalists, you need what to verify, and verification it has to be to the right sources. And then these are some of the issues so that we also battle with. Maybe this person, maybe he has an insider, and then insider just give an information. We have exercise when you come to institution. Of course, every institution now in the Gambia has a public relation unit that is responsible, because that's what empowers them by the institution to speak on behalf of them. So it is why that we contact the person, the contact person, so that they can verify and give accurate information. Or if not, it might jeopardize the institution, and also even it might also discredit the workforce that the institution is doing. So we want to urge every general public that the Gambia institution, especially the Gambia Prison Service, has that autonomy to making sure that we give right information when it's needed, and also we accord the people all the necessary information that is needed to know in any circumstance, anything. But notwithstanding, let it not also jeopardize with the security of the state, because security is our key component that we always want to safeguard as an institution. Thank you. Rare cases, but we want to tell you, prison escapes globally, it happens everywhere. But on rare cases, I'll tell you, we don't have such issues within the Gambia prison service. But of course, you can also predict to say when shall it happen or how does it happen. But all we show is like That's why I said our ultimate purpose is security, to safeguard the people that are confined facilities, and also safeguard the society, because we all want peace, and then that's what justice also looks at. So we don't. Last year, yes, we have some, some were captured, some were captured. On records as of now, I'm not in position to give you that. Yeah. We are, when it comes to escape, we don't take it light. Thank you.
kuy wut fu muy fanaan ak kuy wut ku ko wétali xanaa delloo buntu gi war la naa boole Yaa Faatu's Guest House tijjil na leen buntu bi ñu leen fa am ak ñaari cabinet salle yu yaaña
amal leen li nga xamante ne mooy cabinet ak salle ñu ngi leen amal AC ak fan
salle bi nag lépp li ngeen soxla am na fa sofa yu nooy ñoo fa nekk TV bank fa cabinet boo dugga lal yu nooy leen fa amal nañ leen fa AC ak li nga xam ne moom mooy fan toilette yu set wicc amal nañ leen fa kitchen microwave fridge and room bu baax dama ne teranga day mut moo taxit Yaa Faatu's Guest House amal leen extra kitchen lépp lu ngeen bëgg a togg mun ngeen ko toggee si gas cooker bii nii
kuy xalam di si jaayu nag barke bi yaay borom amal ne li nga xamante ne mooy ndox ak courant 24/7 bu leen tiit bu leen ragal bu leen xoof ndax amal ne lii di CCTV caméra
seet si leen ñu si Farafenni gannaaw garage base bi Kawur highway
very clean every day am na cleaning service ratio bi amul fenn
Yaa Faatu's Guest House teranga àdduna bët kon nag seet si leen ñu